Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lucid. We are jumping back into our game with Middle-Aged Ulm in Great Expectations. It's turn 20, and we are fully at war with Scaleria. And we've got some interesting turns coming up, let me tell you. Jotunheim, my partner in this war, seems to be losing. I have made a bunch of items for him, and he paid me this turn. I forged him this turn also, so I'll be sending him the items. I'm giving him a very steep discount on what it would cost to make them, and he doesn't have earth or fire, so he's paying me in whatever he has, because it is in my... I need Jotunheim to win the war. I don't want him to lose. And I don't want to give the items to him for free, because he's going to get to keep them afterwards, etc., or he could play them poorly and lose them, so I would like payment, but anyway, I'm selling to him at a very steep discount. It's 45 gems worth of items, and this is total payment to me. So I get some of a discount because I'm using hammers and my smiths to make some of them, but a lot of those items are 10 gem items, so you don't get much of a discount. Okay, so we cast Augury, we don't get anything, and then we have a battle here where Scaleria is raiding us. And fortunately, if you remember, we predicted almost all the raids, raiding possibilities, so I think we're going to be covered. So this will be a donation. And fortunately, we put our dudes behind the PD, so we're probably going to take 0 losses here. It looks like his priest is going to get away, so that's a little annoying. Okay. Killed all his stuff, about 7 of his gold troops, and then we did lose some militia, which were from our mercs, so that's actually not a problem. And we moved back on his fort. He didn't ping it, so that was okay. We had an event, we got a bunch of gems, so that's nice. And we did breach the fortification here, and indeed he did move everybody into this. And this is a huge army, look at this. 800? I mean, it's turn 20, holy crap. Okay, you don't normally see 800 armies at turn 20. This is ridiculous. But this now is a problem. Because how am I going to kill 800 dudes? Now, a lot of these are skeletons. But there's a lot of Rotarius in here, too. I mean, it's probably at least 200 Rotarius. I mean, that's a lot. Okay, but we are going to seize the day here, and... we're going to take this castle. So I don't think there's a lot of undead in here, so I don't need my preachers. So we're going to storm with these guys. And basically the plan is going to be to hold an attack, so whatever troops he has in we'll flush out, and then we'll kill them. That's basically the plan. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure I know where he's going to move. He's dealt with the Jotunheim threat for now. He's probably going to move everybody here. Now... I'm gonna lose this battle. There's no way I'm gonna kill 790 dudes when he moves them here. But if I have a big enough battle and I lose, I could cause a lot of the Rotarius to despawn. Because they only get to be in one fight. When they do damage or they take damage, they're gone. So if I crank PD up here, which I've cranked it to 40, and I have a fair amount of archers, so all a Rotarius has to do is get hit by an archer once, or they just have to kill somebody, then they'll despawn. I'm bringing in all my priests, because my priests are just going to spam out banishment, and the blessing actually is going to give them Farcaster and precision, so it'll be kind of extra effective banishment. And then... in addition to all the PD, which is going to spawn, I've got a fair amount of mage support. I've got this guy doing Legions of Steel, and I've got that guy doing Legions of Steel. And so hopefully we get a good amount of Legions of Steel sprinkled out, which will give enough time for us to kill a bunch of their undead, and hopefully a lot of their Rotarius. And we're using most of these are mercenaries, so they're more expendable, and then we're using some of our real troops. And I'm sorry, brave Elmish brothers, but you guys are probably going to die. But the problem is if I don't do this, the next turn I'm going to own this fort, and he's going to have an 800-person army here. And that 800-person army can go here, or it can go here, or it can go here, or it could go here and here. I can't kill... This cannot kill that army. So I think we're going to fight it in waves. This is going to be fight 1, and hopefully I kill half of it. And then we'll fight the second... The second half we could kill this. But it's just... It's too big. It's just too big. It's going to be so many troops, they're just going to pour across all the edges of the battlefield on attack rear. It'll just be nasty. We can't handle that. So, yeah. I don't like throwing 40 into PD, but I don't have anything else I can... I mean, this is all I can bring. And it's going to be a lot. I mean, I'm going to bring like 200 or 300 dudes. But we're definitely going to lose it. Now, there could be... Maybe he decides to go exact vengeance on Jotunheim. If he doesn't bring the full force, if he brings just 300, there's a good chance we could win. And that would be epic. You know. That would be really epic. But I don't think he'll do that. Okay, we cast Augury, didn't find anything. It's the gem sites. And I'm sending... the charcoal shield, braces of protection, the black steel full plate, and the dragon helmet to Jotunheim, and I also sent him a message. Good luck, he will fatigue out and maybe rout, but it won't matter. He'll get surrounded, and the charcoal shield will do all the work. Don't need a weapon. And then I also send fire gems to Agartha and 2 death gems to Agartha to hopefully help him out. He's supposed to send me something back for those. I don't think that was a gift. I can't remember if he actually did that. I might need to message him. We're making more hammers. More and more hammers. So this guy's making a hammer. Forging alquills. We're forging some more bracers of protection, because I might need those later. And down here, we're making more alquills. So you can see I have an earth random. I still don't have an astral random, but I have 2 earth randoms, actually, so that's nice. One of the earth randoms is actually coming down here. I've got 3 earth randoms. And... he'll be coming this way. So we're going to talk about research real quick. I've switched up to do Evo 5. So Evo 3 is going to give me Arcane Probing, which is nice. I still don't have an Astral Random, but that'll be nice. It's also going to give me, Iron Darts, which will be kind of okay. Not really, because I don't really have a lot of my Priestsmiths, and then there's other things I can do. 4 will give me Blade Wind, which will be nice. So that's kind of happening. And I think that's it for this turn. So let's go ahead and pull up the next turn. Wait, what turn is that? Okay, and I got it. It's turn 21. So we get air and astral gems, which is just what Agartha could pay me. Really, I was just giving him the earth and fire because he needed them. And he's getting attacked by Ryla. And I don't want him to lose versus Ryla. I would prefer to have an Agarthan neighbor to a Rylan one. So I was just asking how I can help. And he said, if you send me earth and death gems, that would help. And I'm like, well, I can't give them to you, but what gems can you give me? And I'll just take whatever ones you can give me. And these were the ones he could come up with, so that's what we did. So just trying to help in a little way. But he can turn those into earth elementals, and those will hopefully help in his war to come. Then we have a big battle here. Let's go check this out. So this is indeed... He's sending his whole Doom stack into my sacrificial army. So this is mostly mercenaries, but I've got a fair amount of priest and mage support. We've got a fair amount of archers, and I've got some of my Ulmish infantry. So God Save the King. It's going to be ugly. Let's zoom out to get full scope of this battle. So he's got this skeleton wall in front, which is going to draw a lot of the early archer fire. We've got a lot of banishment coming down. And so the banishment seems to be working pretty well. Now, he has been spamming out protection of the Sepulchre, and that has gotten most of his undead, or a lot of his undead, with the protection buff, but not all of them. But a lot. Yeah. But still, undead chaff is pretty low in MR, so The banishment is still going to do work, and we'll zoom in here a little. But you can see our armies are kind of melting. But not without doing damage. We're definitely hanging in long enough for a lot of the Rotarius to make contact, which means they're going to despawn after battle. And then we have enough of a line that I think most all of our preachers and mages are able to retreat, which is kind of what I thought would happen. And so anyway, this is a much more meager force than he started off with, but let's see what the final tally is. So he brought 500 dudes, and then he had 200 die. And I had 150 of my normal dudes die, plus 100 of my PD. Now, a lot of these were long dead. We didn't actually get to kill too many. I mean, we killed some of the Rotarius from just them despawning, but most of the dudes we actually killed were long dead. We did not get hardly any of the Hastatus. So that's okay. And he also had his Scythe Wielder and some Thaumaturg, so that's how he was able to get Power of the Sepulchre and all that important stuff down in that fight. We didn't really talk about that, but he got all the important buffs down. So if we look at it, he should have 200 dudes there. 300 dudes there, but we'll see how many he actually has. But let's watch the other battles first. Okay, he had a bunch of Rotarius inside that fort, and I think he decided not to fight. So he's retreating them out, and they're all gonna run. So if you have people inside a fort, if you retreat in the fort battle, they're all dead. But if you have them attack and retreat outside the fort, they'll run, which is what he's doing, so that's smart. And here we are going to fight inside the fort. And there's literally nothing in here. Okay, and we're probably going to take 1 or 2 losses there. Yeah, 2 losses, well, that's the Guardian. Well, that's one of our preachers, that's unfortunate. Okay, now the thing is, so he had 100 dudes retreat out of here. That was this battle, right? So, or 77. And then he should have 300 dudes left. But it's only 190, so he probably lost about 50 of the Rotarius, and then he probably had about 50 of the other Rotarius retreat back here, and then he probably lost about 20 of the other ones, or they retreated back randomly. So in total, we probably killed probably 200, about 200 of the long dead. And then we probably ended up causing about 50 or 60 of the Rotarius to die or respawn or despawn. So that accomplished its goal, but it was expensive. It was expensive. Now, if this is the point where if it were a 1v1, I'd be in trouble, because he could just take this army and push it forward. But I have Jotunheim on this flank, and he's going to be raiding and attacking and all of those things. And he's going to keep this army from moving too far from his capital. So that's good. That said, I still don't really want to fight it yet. So what I think is going to happen, because Jotunheim has an army right here now. And the thing is Jotunheim's army here, Scaleria thinks that Jotunheim's probably going to attack his cap. His army was here and then it moved here this turn. And Scaleria is thinking, okay, this guy's probably going to attack my cap. So what I'm thinking is that while he's upset that I took this fort, he's probably going to have to take this army and go back and defend his cap. Because if he moved this army down here, then Jotunheim could definitely take his cap. And yeah. Or maybe the army's up here and it's going to be moving down here. I can't remember. I think that's what it is. And so he's thinking that this group is actually going to go defend this fort, because his army's going to check, potentially could take this, but he's not. He's actually going to move it down here. So that's what's happening. But we're planning, because I just gave him last turn all of the super combatant gear, and he's getting his super combatant loaded up with an astral mage to fluff it, and he's moving those in position over here. And so when that army comes down here next turn, he's going to think it's going to attack his cap, and then he can put the super combatant in there instead and we'll kill this whole stack. That's kind of the plan. Okay, in terms of events, we got 3 Earth Gems, which is nice, and then we got a hidden laboratory, which gave us a free lab and a miraculous cure-all elixir, which is freaking awesome. This is a very expensive item. So it gave us a lab in a province where I can get Shaman, which is important because I don't have any nature mages, and I've been meaning to build something here to recruit them, but I haven't because I've been putting all my money into the war effort. So having this free lab is nice. I still need to build a temple, but once I have that temple, then I can start cranking these guys out, which will be super good. 10% of them get an air random, so that's okay. But super happy about that. And then also, if we look at the item, this is an expensive item. 40 nature gems. So I just got basically 40 free nature gems, and it gives me disease healing 1, which on some nations it's like, whatever, disease healing. But for me, super useful because I have a lot of old age mages, and if I don't want them to die, the thing that kills them is they get diseased. Well, I can just pop that bottle on them and they'll be fine. So that's pretty awesome. So anyway, what I'm expecting this army to do is to move up here because Jotunheim is threatening it with a big army here. And what I'm therefore going to do is I don't want to fight this army if they move here, so I'm only putting a couple PD on. I don't want to fight them, so we're going to move this army over this way. And we should one turn pop this fort. So that will be good. And if he moves his army up here to defend that, and I move my army here, then he's going to be in a really bad situation because he won't be able to get his army from up here all the way down here to actually defend this fort. So that is the plan. Okay, so that's the plan. And yeah, we've also got now a pretty big army over here. So the other thing he could do with this army is run it this way, but with Jotunheim having such a big army, I think it's pretty unlikely he's going to want to detach in this direction away from his empire. He's probably kind of trying to survive. What I've got most of my guys doing here, so this is the army that we have in this fort. They're coming up to defend here. Highly likely, this looks like free territory, and highly likely that he's going to try to raid it again. And since it looks like it's likely he's going to raid it, I'm going to go ahead and send a defensive force yet again. And hopefully we are able to clean this up. So, I mean, it's very likely that he takes a small contingent of this and tries to take that. No matter which move he does otherwise. So anyway, we're moving out of there. In terms of this, we're moving some dudes into this fort, but we're not moving patrolling with our army. We are moving patrolling with this guy because I have a lot of PD here. And if nothing else, he's just going to buff them up and then retreat when that PD dies. And he's even scripted to retreat. So anyway, that's the plan. And I think that's it. I think that's about it. So we're getting into some pretty intricate dancing with Scalaria in terms of where we're going to move. And Jotunheim's basically gotten whipped so far, but he's been doing medium commitment attacks, not low, but not high. This is a high commitment attack. This is his main army. So maybe things will go differently. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you tune in for the next one.